welcome back to this channel, OHL in 20. This is where we break down all 20 OHL teams, including stats, player predictions, trades, and much more. Well, in this video, we have some OHL trade breaking news to announce. I was just out, getting ready to record preseason update video, only to discover that, well, there was another OHL trade in the midst. The Oshawa Generals, they have acquired Tyler O'Toole from the Sarnia Sting in exchange for a Kitchener 8th round pick of 2025. Well, what is this going to do for both franchises? Well, I think Oshawa, they may have come out on top of this one, even though Sarnia did acquire the Kitchener draft pick. Personally, I think maybe Sarnia could have got a little bit more out of this trade in terms of draft picks. If not a player, a draft pick. That's my prediction or my assumption. But overall, I think Tyler O'Toole is going to be a great asset to the Oshawa Generals organization, especially if Beckett, Seneca, and Van Danford are back on the roster for the Generals. I think we could really see some high scoring potential for this Oshawa Generals club. What is this going to be like when Oshawa and Sarnia meet up again? I mean, Tyler O'Toole, interesting how he left Sarnia. I mean, there obviously is something that Sarnia was looking for. If Sarnia was looking to trade him or Oshawa was looking to acquire him, there's a really big difference because Oshawa, they could have really been looking for more depth scoring talent, where Sarnia, they could have just been looking to build more for their future. I think that Oshawa, personally, if you look back to my standings video, I think Oshawa is going to be very dominant, especially when it comes to goal scoring. And you got to look, I mean, their goaltending is perfect. I mean, you got Jacob Oster, he's your pretty much started goaltender. And then you got Noah Bender, phenomenal goaltender who just won the PJHL championship with the Wesley Applejacks a couple of seasons ago. So, in case we don't get Beckett Seneca or Ben Danford back, is Tyler going to be a very beneficial player for fans to like? I honestly believe he will. I don't really know what line he'll play on. It really all depends if Beckett, Seneca, and Van Danford are back on this Oshawa Generals roster. But if they're not, I would say that probably Tyler O'Toole, we might see him on the first or second line. Where if Beckett, Seneca, and Van Danford are back, we might see him on the second or third line. I would say that would be my prediction. Again, just a great acquisition from the Sarnia Sting that Oshawa was able to acquire O'Toole from. So this is going to be good. I mean, we're going to have to look a little bit more in the future of what to expect from these two clubs, especially I think more at the beginning and the mid part of the season. Are we going to see a team like Oshawa who's trying to get past the Eastern Conference Finals this year, heading to that OHL final and potentially another Memorial Cup run? I mean, we saw that the Oshawa Generals won the Memorial Cup in Kelowna against the Rockets in 2015. But I think it all depends if Beckett, Seneca, and Van Danford are back on this Oshawa Generals team come next season, because Beckett Seneca, he went third overall to the Anaheim Ducks in this past NHL draft, where Van Danford, he signed with the Leafs. So could these two players be gaining a little bit more experience with the Generals come preseason or at the beginning of the season? Hey, maybe one of these members end up officially signing an NHL contract in the mid part of the season, so these teams could really adjust not only the future for maybe a potential playoff run. You also got to remember too that the Toronto Marlies, the Maple Leafs affiliate team, they could probably use some more goal scoring depth, build more experience. I mean, that's what we saw from Dustin Wolf with the Calgary Flames. He went down to play with the Calgary Wranglers, only to bring him back up to be almost that potential starter goalie for the Calgary Flames after Jacob Markstrom wouldn't be continuing his NHL career with the Flames anymore. So could we see the same from players like Tyler O'Toole? Potentially. And I think this is going to be very beneficial for not just Oshawa, but I think this is also going to be very beneficial for Sarnia too. Are we going to see Sarnia one of those top competitor teams this coming season? In my video for the predictions of what the potential 2024-25 regular season standings would look like, Well, last season, Sarnia finished in 17th, where I've placed them a little higher this season in 15th. That's my prediction. I think that the Sarnia Sting will kind of look to step back a little bit more for the upcoming season. Well, I said this back a while ago when the Brampton Steelheads acquired Spencer Sova, the captain of the Erie Otters, to the Steelheads franchise. I said that maybe Sova would probably potentially be looking for maybe a change in scenery. Maybe he wanted to play more in the Western Conference and bring his talents out that way. This could very well be the same situation for Tyler O'Toole from Sarnia to Oshawa. Maybe he wanted an entire change of scenery. I mean, we see this a lot when it comes especially to junior hockey. Maybe these players want, a little bit of change in scenery when it comes to trade acquisitions like this. I mean, that's always another potential reason. So just looking at the facts beyond what, maybe the future of Oshawa and Sarnia might look like, maybe it just goes for the individual of Tyler O'Toole himself. Same situation with Spencer Sova. I mean, the captain of the Erie Otters going off to the Brampton Steelheads. I mean, you look back when Johnny Gaudreau, when he played with the Calgary Flames, he actually wanted to play closer to his family in New Jersey. So that's why he signed with the Columbus Blue Jackets. In the same sense, I mean, this goes especially for the higher level of hockey that you go. That's kind of what it comes down to. Is the team interested in the city that the player wants to go to? Is sometimes the overall reason. Again, that's just something to pretty much keep in mind, especially for when players like this get traded. We're going to have to see what the performance of Tyler O'Toole is going to look like for the Oshawa Generals come the start of the season. Maybe we might see him in the lineup for Oshawa next Saturday night as they play the Guelph Storm on the road. So maybe that's something we'll see from Tyler, but we're all going to have to see. But this is just a little recap of what actually went down between that Tyler O'Toole trade from Sarnia to Oshawa today. Let me know in the comments of what you think about this trade. But until then, be sure to like this video, subscribe, tell your friends, and be sure to check into this channel more for weekly videos. We'll see you again soon.